Hello, my friend. Today we are going to make the application with the Google Map API. We will just deal with the basic feature with the Google Map. So if you see what we are going to do, first I refresh the map. Automatically, this map will get my current location. And then if we try to drag the marker, we can actually drag it like this. And we can also get the different place, the address and the area and state. We can also search for the place where we want to go, like the if I type this Washington, we can just automatically come in here. And then we can also make use of all the basic feature that Google Map API give us, like the click the full screen or just like go to. We can also zoom by clicking more and more, and then we can do the satellite mode like by clicking this one, and we can also put the person in here to see a rear view like this. Yeah, just all the basic maps feature so we can do. Even though you can see this one is really simple, but when I implement this one, actually it took quite a long time because I got a lot of errors when making this one. So anyway, yeah, we are going to make this one. So if I summarize what to learn in this video, like just a basic map feature and how to drag the marker to get the location and how to go to the location by searching autocomplete and how to get the city and areas and states name, and lastly how to use Google Map API. So without further ado, if I just start making yeah that application, so first we need to do the configuration for the Google Map API. So we need to use the API that Google provides. So to use that, so we actually need to download these three modules: React Google Maps and React Google Autocomplete, and then React Geocode. So if I first explain the each of these purpose, so first for the React Google Map, this is just for the basic maps. So if you see this, just this map, to make just this basic map, we need to have this React Google Map. So if you see this definition for the React Google Map, React Google Maps provides a set of the React component wrapping the underlying Google Maps JavaScript API v3 instance. So after that, we also need to download this React Google Autocomplete. So this one is for the this autocomplete. So if I type the so like this, you see if we type something, yeah, we can get some of the suggestion. So this autocomplete function we can get from this React Google Autocomplete, and then lastly we also need the React geocode. If we just this definition, a module to transform a description of a location into geographic coordinate and vice versa. So by using this React geocode, first we will be given some latitude and longitude when we show these maps. Without the latitude and longitude, this map doesn't know where to show. So with the latitude and longitude, we will transform that one into the address or the area or state. So we will know these places name, like area and state and address. So that's why we need these three modules installed. So to use these three modules, we actually need this API. So before getting the API, first we are going to just download these three modules. But we are going to use the React.js for this application. So first we will create the React application. To do that, first we go to the directory where we want to download our React application, and then make the folder, and then you can give this folder name anything you want to. So for me, it's the React Google Map, and then we can just turn on the text editor. So for me, the Visual Studio Code, because I really like it. and then drag the folder into the text editor. And then in here, we turn on the terminal, like a new terminal here. Inside the terminal, we are going to create the React application by using create React app. So to do that, type the npx create and React and app and dot to download this create React app in this directory. So we are downloading right now. So now we have the React application, and then so now that we have the React application created, so now it's time to download these three modules. So come back to our terminal and type npm install React geocode and React Google Autocomplete and then React Google Map and save. So now we have downloaded all the modules. So now it's time to get the API key. So to get it, we need to visit this Google website, the console.cloud, google.com, Google Maps APIs. So are we visiting here? So first thing we need to do is we need to create the projects, new projects. So if you come in here, so you can just type any name you want to have for this project. So for me, just Google Map, and I will click the create. So it takes a couple of seconds to create this project. So now it is created. So if I click this view, now we are here. And then we need to click this hamburger button and then go to this API services and then click this credential tab. So in here we can just get this API key. So to do that, first click this create credentials and then API key. And so now we got the API key in here. We can also strict this key for better security, but we are not going to do that right now. So close it, and then if we come to our diagram to know what we need to do next, so we actually need to enable APIs we need. So there are three APIs we need to enable. So just briefly, we can understand like this to use this React geocode module. We need to enable this geocode API because what this API does is geocode is the process of converting addresses into geographic coordinate. So as we said before, this React geocode does transform a description of a location into geographic coordinate. So it does the same thing. So to use this module, so we need to enable this geocoding API, and we also need to enable Google Map API for this React Google Maps, and we also need to enable this Place API for this React Google Autocomplete module. So we need to go back to our website. So go to the library, and it's the place where we can enable the API. So you can see there are so many API that Google provides. Yeah, really a lot. So we can use all the APIs in here. So but now we are dealing with the maps. So inside the map, so we can see this maps JavaScript API. So we click it, and then this one is for the maps for your website. So we need to enable this API. So now we just enable this API. So now it's time to enable this geocoding API. So come back in here and click the APIs. We can click this geocoding API. You can see this one. Click this one and enable this one as well. Yeah, lastly, we need to enable this place API as well. So come back in here and click this APIs again. And then you can see this places API. Click and then click enable button again. So now we have all the API we need enabled. So there are so many configurations we need to do to use this Google API, right? But we still have one step left for using this one. The last one is the before you can start using the Google Maps platform APIs and SDKs, we need to enable billing on the Google Cloud projects. So if you see this, yeah, you can just ask yourself, so do I need to pay for this API? So actually, I say yes, you need to. But the good thing is, Google provides us a $200 free monthly usage. That means if you just use this one for the education purpose, you are never going to pay for that. So I never pay for this, even though I use this one for a long time, and I assume that you will also not pay for this if you just use it for the normal purpose. So to just enable this billing, so we need to go to here. So console.cloud.google.com project. So I will this page. So in here, first we need to select the project we just created. So for me, the React Google Map test. Click it. If you never create the billing account, you will face some page. You need to put the credit card information or some of the more information you need to fill out. So I hope you can just follow the steps. They will be really straightforward. But for me, I already created the billing account, so I just skip all the steps I need to make for that one, and I just come in here. So finally, we did every configuration for this Google Maps APIs. And I just take a rest a little bit, and then later we will really just make our application for the Google Maps. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you can take a rest a little bit too. And then see you soon. Thank you. So first we will make this map part. So we go to our text editor in here. So first I'm going to turn off our applications by typing npm run start. So we can see our application like this, but we need to change this one into like this. So first, to have this map, we are going to look up the documentation first. If you go to this website, I will click this one and go in here. So we downloaded this JSON. We downloaded this React Google Maps module. So we will see how to use that React Google module. There is some steps about how to use this React Google Map. So, but I'm not going to explain everything. So just I'm going to I'll scroll down first, and we will use this one inside the with script JS. So we will bring this one, so copy it, and then by going to the app.js in here, this part is for this page, but we don't need this one, and we need to change this one into like this. So we will just delete all of this part, and I will use the class component for this one. So change this one into class component. So and then we need to extend and react and the component like this, and then class component need render method. Left this return part like this, and just a div hello, and then just save it and come back to our application. You can see this hello in here, and then go back to the documentation parts, and we will just import this part manually. So to use this React Google Map, and then we also need to bring this part inside this render method. And one more thing, we also need to bring this part inside this return. like this, and save it, and then come back to our application. So now you can see this map, but we cannot see this map correctly. To solve this problem, so we need to put the API key we got from the Google API put in here. So we have just incorrect API key right now. That's why we couldn't see this map correctly. So we go back to Google developer website again here, and I will copy the API key and then just paste it in here and delete it and paste it, and then I will just save it and come back to our application. So now we can see our map correctly. If you come in here, so there is a HOC, so higher order components that we just use for this map. If you come in here, there is a with script.js and with Google Map. So both of them are the higher order component. The reason why we needed to use these two are for this with Google Map. So in order to initialize the My Map component with DOM instance, we need to wrap it with Google Map HOC. And we also use the with script.js. The reason why we also use this one is in order to correctly load Google Map JavaScript API v3. So from now on, we need to keep making this application from here. To do that, we need some state to change our value inside our application. So first, if I explain each of the states in here, so address is for this address. This cities and area and state, they are almost same as this address. Just to express where we are, which cities we are in the map, like in here you can see the area and city and then state. So we need to have this value inside the state. So for this June, now we have the 15 as a default value. So if I bring our original application, you can see we put 15 as a default June, but if we just I'll change this one into 10 and then come back to our original application. Now that we've changed this zoom into 10, so we can have a wider the map right now like this. And then height is for the, like, if I give the 700 for the height, now it becomes taller, like 700 pixel for the height. And I change this one into 400 again. And we will also have the map position state and the marker position. Marker positions is for, you can see this marker, where this marker is located. So we need to specify the latitude and longitude where this marker is located. And for the map positions, just where we are inside the map. So if we want to change this map's location, yeah, we can just give the different latitude and longitude. So just literally you can just see this one is for the map position and this one is just for the marker position. So we need to give this one the state like this. First one is the address for our address, and then city and area and state and June. So I will give the 15 as a default, and height will be, you can give any pixel for these ones, but for me I will give a 400. And we also need to give the map position, and inside the map position we need to give the latitude and the longitude, and we will also have the marker position and give the latitude and then longitude too. After that, we also want to make this the info window. What this info window is, if we see you can see this window here above the marker. So to have this one, we can import that component named info window from the React Google Maps module, and we put this one inside the marker. So marker and put it in here, and inside in here we can just type anything, just hello, just for now, and go back to our application. Here we didn't I didn't put the comma in here, and put it again and come in here. Now you can see we have this info window here. So if I click this one, we can just close that too. So next thing I want to do is so we want to this marker draggable. So like if we want to drag this marker in our original map, we can do it like this. By dragging the marker, we can get the new address and area and state. But inside the map we are making right now, even though we tried to drag the marker, we couldn't do it. Just the map positions is changing, but we cannot change the marker's position. So we want to do that right now. So to do this, we need to add the two attribute for the marker components. This is a marker component. One is the draggable, and we put the draggable. We give the true for this one, and then we also need to give the onDrag and attribute. We also need to, so when this onDrag and event happens, so we will trigger the on marker drag and function. So when we finish dragging, so we need to know where this position is. So by using this function on marker drag and, we will figure out the place where this dragging was finished. We are going to make this function in here like this. First, we will get the event. Inside this event, and then let and long. And if we do like this, and we put this value inside the variable named new let. Now first I'm going to let you see which kind of value we get inside this new let variable. So to console log, and then new red and new red, and save it. And I'm going to just drag this one into different place. So if you see, so new less variable has this value. So this value indicates this new marker's latitude. And if we do like this, let new longitude and event, and let long and g like this, inside this new longitude variable, we will get the value of new longitude of this marker. So now we have this new latitude and longitude value after we drag the marker. So how we will use this new latitude and new longitude? So by using this latitude and longitude information, we want to know city's name, address name, and city name, and area name, and state name. But by using this latitude and longitude, how can we know this address and city and area and state? So to know them by using this one, so we will use this geocode. So like we downloaded this React geocode module. So before I said, by using this one, we can transform a geographic coordinate into a description of a location. So by using this one, we will know this information. So first we are going to get that information by using this latitude and longitude. So to do that, first we need to import the React geocode. Import geocode from React geocode. And then to use this one, we also need to set the API, set API key. This one is same as this one we got from the Google. So put this set API in here. So now we are ready to use this geocode. The way how to get the locations, address, and city and area. So we put the geocode in here, and then use the from latitude and longitude. So we put this latitude first, and from latitude and longitude, and we also put the longitude. We will use the promise here. So this geocode will take care of this latitude and longitude, and then this one will give us the response, and we want to know which kind of information we get inside this response. So we will do the console log and go to our website again. So now I try to drag it. So now I got the response back. So if I spread it like this, so we can have the lots of information about this location and address. So if we go inside the address component, you can see this address, and in here formatted address. So I just copy and paste it in here, so we can get the address for this location. So by using these informations we got from the geocode, so we will put them into the state. So we can populate area and state and address information like this on browser. So that's what we are going to do. So after drag the marker, we will put all of the locations information into state. So to put the information into state, we will first get the value address. This one is response and result and 0, and formatted address, because result index 0, and then formatted address. This one formatted address. This one is address, and then address array. This one is response and result, 0 index, and address components. This address component we've just seen, this one and this one, this one. So by using this address array, we can get city information by using this get city. We also need to make this function appear. Address array, because now we will put this address array in here, and first I will put all of the variable here, city, and then area, and this get area, and address array again, and then lastly the state, and this get state address. Oh no, not this one, not this one. Get state and address area, and this one is get area. Yeah, we don't have this function yet, but we will make it manually. So in here, because you see there are so many information, so we don't know which one is the city and which one is the area and state. We need to get the specific the city and then state or that information, in this variable. That's what we are going to do in here to get the city information from this information. So first, to set the city variable as a empty string, and then we will do for over and like this, and this one will be address array and the length and index. We just delete this one, and first if address array and index and types and index 0, and if we have the mini relative array area and label, and 2 is equal to the address array and index and types, and 0 address array and index and long name. This will be the city like this. So address, index, and type 0. If we have this one, okay, with console log. So if you see here, like address, index, and type 0. So this one, address component and index 0 and types and 0. If this one is the, and if we have this one, right now we have this one, and then if this administrative area level 2 is same as this one, but this one is not same, so this one is not same. Yeah, this one is the same. So if this one is same, this long name is the city. So inside this index, this one's name is long, this one. So it will be just like this. So this name will be the city's name. So we got this city's name from the latitude and longitude. So by using this way, we will also get the area's name and then state name. But I will do really fast because it is not very important right now. So by doing like this, so we got all of the information about city and area and state. So now it's time to put this information inside the state. So to do that, we will use this set state, and first inside the address state, if we have address, we will put the address in here. If not, we will just make it empty. And for area 2, area, if we have area, we will use the area for the state, and then if we don't have, then we will put this empty string, and same as that for the different things. And for micro positions, so latitude and longitude, first the latitude will be new latitude, and longitude will be new longitude. And for the map position, this one will be same as this one, like this, but change this one into map position. After we like the I is undefined, when this one is not the I. Okay, this one needs to be the index. Okay. After we drag this one into different place, but this is not movable right now because the we did the hard coding for this latitude and longitude, like default center. So we need to change this one with the state. So just delete this one, this state. If we go up, this one is the map position and latitude. Map position and latitude. Even for the longitude, for the default center, this state and map position and longitude, and even for the marker position we get the same value like this, but this one needs to be changed into the marker position. Yeah, marker position here. Yeah, put the marker position in here. So and then we will we will try to drag it into here. So now we can actually drag it, and after dragging it, our map position has changed. So to do this, we actually want to display the this information up here. So to do that, first we need to get this UI part. So to get this UI really quickly and easily, we are going to use the Anti-Design framework. So I'm going to download that one really fast. So npm install Anti and then save. And then I will turn on my application again. npm run stars. Now that we downloaded this Anti-Design module, so if we go to Anti-Design website, so there is a descriptions components in here. Yeah, this one, we will use this one. So if we click this one to show code, so we import this description component in here, and we don't need this batch one. Only with this description, we copy this one first, and we put that one in here. So div, and then we get this one and put it in here. Well, mostly we don't need, so we will just delete all of this part, and we just save it and come back to our application. We also need to import the style sheet from the Anti-Design. Getting started. So this is style sheet. Inside the index.js, we put that one in here and come back to our application. Now we can see this description part. So we will put that like a city and state and area and this kind of information in here instead of this information. So we don't need this user info. Up here we will put the h1 and Google Map Basic, and then we just do some styling, padding, and 1 rem and margin, and 0 and auto, and max width will be just 1000. And for this one is for the city, and then this one will be the area information, and this one will be state, and this one will be for the address. Okay, like this, and we don't need this part, so delete it. And if we come back, so now we got the different key. So we also need to change this value part for the real city information, area information. So but real information is in the state, so we put the state in here. So this state and city, this state and area, and this state and state, and this state and address. So now we save it. So now we don't have anything because we didn't do anything. We didn't do component div mount after rendering our things into DOM. So we didn't do anything. So, but if we drag this one into different place, now we got the city information and address information and state information. So if we couldn't get any information for the area, we will just make it empty. So we change it again. So this one has changed it again. So the next thing I want to do is if you see this autocomplete part, I want to go to San Francisco. So by typing and then click it. So now I come into San Francisco. So I want to make this feature. So to do that, we come in here. So we need to import the autocomplete components. Come in here and import autocomplete from this React Google autocomplete. And by using this autocomplete, okay, we need to put that component inside in this Google map autocomplete and like this. Just save it and come back to our application. Just here. Now we got the autocomplete box in here. So if I click the Washington, yeah, we can actually. So we got this autocomplete result in here, but this styling is not that great. So we want to give some styling for this autocomplete. So width will be the 100%, and then the height will be the 40 pixel, and the padding left will be 16, and then margin top to px just 2, and margin bottom to rem, and like this. So we come back here, so we got the better styling of this autocomplete box. And next we also need to give the props, name just this one, types. Types, we need to give the regions for these types, and this types props means type of place in Google Place API. We enable this Google Place API before, so we come to our applications. So we can get the autocomplete result in here, but even though we just click this one and try to enter it, but nothing happened in here. So when we drag this one in here, we got the new result from the dragging the marker, but even though we type anything, nothing happened. So how can we control it? So we also need to give this on place selected the props to control that. So I just copy and paste it in. So we will see which kind of value are inside in here. We will see that. So come back our application and Washington again. So now we got the lots of information back, like the address component, like geometry. So you remember we saw this information before when we drag this one into the any other place. So when we drag this one from here, we also got the same information. So after this onPlace selected event happens, we will trigger this place selected. We will also trigger this function up here, and we will get the place information back. So what we are doing here is almost same as this part, but before we use the geocode to get the place information, So we also need to set the variable for the address and city and area like this. In here, address and place and formatted address, because you see this address this one is this place. This one is place, and then address, formatted address, yeah, is like this. And array like this up here, uh, place and address components. This one, address components. This part will be exactly same as this one, so I do it fast. And we also need the latitude value and longitude value. So this one is a place and geometry and locations and let and let longitude value and place and geometry and location and longitude like this. So after getting all of the information we need, and we also need to set state like this, but we just copy and just paste it in here like this. But let okay, just we change this one. Oh, why I just give the latitude for the longitude? Oh, I need to change this one. My mistake. Okay, and then so longitude, so longitude and longitude. We try to type different place. Maybe where do you wanna go? Like okay, we can go Canada, like so. Okay, I got errors. Location of undefined. Here's I got the typo issue. It has to be geometry, not geometry. Metry. Okay. Again. So I wanna go to Canada again. So now I can. I'm not sure whether this place is Canada or not. Maybe I will go to the Seoul where I live. Oh yeah, we got the Seoul rail, and then we also got the address and the area and state rail. We did almost everything. There is one more thing. One more last thing I want to do is the. So after I refresh the page, I want to show the map of where I live, not just this place. To do that, we are going to use the geolocation API that is provided by the web APIs. So by using these geolocation APIs, we will get the current locations. So whenever we come to our component, after rendering this parts, we will start the a life cycle by using component did mount, and in here we will use the geolocation API. So to use that, input navigator, and then so there is some browsers we can use this geolocation API, but maybe we couldn't use this one just in the Internet Explorer. I really hate this one. Aside from the Internet Explorer version 9, so we can use this geolocation API. So if we can use the geolocation API, and we will use the navigator and geolocation, and then get current position, and we will get the position here. And after this one, we can get the current locations, latitude and longitude. So we will first put this value in the state. So map position, we just bring this one and like this. Map position, but this won't be just 0, and this will be the position and coordinates and then latitude, and this for this one position and coordinates and longitude. Even for the marker position, we put this one in here. So after we change the state, what we will do is the like what we will do is the same as this one. So using the geocode component, and we now already have the latitude and longitude, we will get this city's name and area's name and state's name. So, but we don't need this part because we have already changed it. So latitude in here and longitude in here. So now I got save it and then go back to our application. And now it requires us to allow to let this browser know our locations. Yeah, so I need to click this allow and I will refresh the page. So now I refresh the page. Now I got this my location, then just any other random place. So yeah, like this, I actually finish this tutorial for the Google Map Basic. I thought I'm going to just finish this tutorial just in 30 minutes, but it doesn't have to be this long tutorial. But sorry for that. Maybe I try to speak faster or I try to minimize the procedure of how to do maybe because this was not the very like complicated projects. Um, but anyway, just thank you for watching this video too, and then I hope I can see you again in my next project. Sincerely, thank you for just keep watching my video. Thank you.